It's regarding A-1850. Stephanie, can you introduce the measure?
This bill extends by 2 months the seasonal retail consumption of alcoholic beverages this year.
I'd like to call up William Luddick from DJ's and John Bovich and Justice Daniello, Belmar resident, no need to testify but in favor. James Davies, Belmar resident, in favor, no need to testify. Jessica Jones, in favor. Belmar resident, no need to testify. Lewis Connor, DJ's, in favor, no need to testify. Welcome, William and John.
My honor? Okay.
Yes.
Good afternoon, my name is Phil Luddick. I'm one of the 3 owners of DJ's Nightclub and Restaurant on Ocean Avenue, Belmar. DJ's has been in operation for over 38 years, employs over 180 people per season. Has a strong financial revenue stream for both the state of New Jersey and the borough of Belmar. As we're all aware, Superstorm Sandy had a devastating effect on the residents, infrastructure, and businesses in the state. DJ's alone sustained about a $1.4 million damage. Governor Christie, Senator Singer, and Senator Rival, and Mayor Doherty came to DJ's to see firsthand the structural damages that occurred at our establishment and the surrounding areas. In a rapid response, the governor signed an executive order allowing seasonal licenses a 2-month extension to operate March 1st instead of May 1st. In attempt to assist businesses in recouping the losses, and for this we truly thank the governor. Last year, opponents of this legislation testified in front of this committee and voiced a deep concern that if DJ was open on parade day, their bottom line would be adversely affected. On the contrary, DJ's was open on parade day, they would have brought hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more people to the area. Furthermore, the opponents of this legislation displayed a lack of concern for the alleged devaluation of licenses being focused solely on the parade day issue. When they approached the senator who sponsored the bill in the last session, they requested that the term of the license extension be amended by a year 15 days from March 1st to March 15th. This occurred on June 25th, 2015. In conclusion, this legislation would not only benefit seasonal licenses, but state, federal, and local tax revenues would be generated from additional liquor sales, payroll taxes, extending employment for hundreds of workers in the bar and restaurant industry, and the businesses that surround it. Thank you for your time. On behalf of myself, my partners, and my staff, we thank you and hope you would vote yes on Bill A-1850.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is John Bonovich. I'm here, I was here last year as well, and I heard the testimony on both sides, bar owners, for and against. So I'm here, just bringing it up. This bill reaches far further than just the liquor licenses, the owners, their staffs. It reaches a lot more people than that. I mean, these seasonal licenses probably employ alone 300 to 400 people. But that's directly. Indirectly, they hire a lot more other businesses in the area. I'd probably say that we're 100 other businesses, HVAC, heating, cooling, their freezers, their fridges, their marketing. That's around here. I have my own company as well. I employ about 7 people. So they hire about, every one of these establishments hires another baker, an electrician, marketer, another newspaper rep. There's a lot more people that this touches than just a couple bar owners saying for or against it. That's number one. Number two, I was here and I listened to the testimony last year of opposing bar owners. We said, why did we purchase in Belmar? Because parade day. Well, what do you mean parade day? I never heard this before. He said that we purchased the license because it's almost like an additional week of income. It's almost like buying a Belmar, a license in Belmar, you get 53 weeks opposed to 52, you know. Well, that's great, but he was against it. He's against it because, you know, I guess, you know, there used to be a lot more bars down there, and, you know, we all know Jersey City, Asbury, all these places are flourishing with more liquor licenses. They get a little nervous, they don't want competition. Well, it kind of works backwards. And you know what? The Belmont Parade is the busiest tourism day of the year. Why would you have less places open? You know what happens when you have less places open? You know, Lake Como and Belmont foot the bill, police, the DPW, and they don't reap the benefits because their bars aren't open. They go to neighboring towns. You know, and so neighboring towns have no skin in the game. They're not paying the police, they're not paying the DPW, and the neighboring bars are winning. So I hope you guys will yes to this bill. Another thing that I know you guys are both heard about Sandy, you know, DJs got crushed. These guys, they took over $1.4 million in damage. They didn't receive half of that probably. They did a little more. They had to work hard to get that money back. And that this opportunity that was given to us, like, you know, Governor Chris Christie, was an executive order. And I heard this last year as well, from Reggie, one of the bodies. Year one was great. Year two was great, the executive order. Year three, he said that wasn't so great. But he failed to mention that year three was a nor'easter. Tail end of the parade. It was snowing, it was sleet. I went to my car, it's almost like I had 2 windshields. That's how thick the ice was. So if it wasn't other bars beating into this competition, it was just the weather, and that's the way it was wrong. All right, so what we had here was kind of like a test scenario, and then last year this bill came to you guys to make the executive order permanent, you know, extend the season by 2 months. Well, some reason, where the other, Christie didn't sign it, and here we are again. But you know what happened last year? Because all these seasonal bars weren't open, the parade wasn't as great of a parade. You know, because what happens? How do people know about a parade? You have 5 businesses talking about come to the shore for our parade, come visit us. Or if you have 15 bars open, say come see us. They all reach different people. The parade wasn't as great. And how do I know this? Because I'm in marketing, I'm in social media, and I looked at all the pictures, and there's only 2 bars open, silly, mind-blowing, but I looked at the surrounding towns, Manasquan, Seagirt, Asbury Park, and they're all wearing green. They didn't have a parade that day because the town couldn't handle the volume. There were like two establishments open. There should have been another 5. So, you know, another reason why this was a great bill is the employment of thousands of people, not a couple of bar owners going back and forth. And just the fact of, you know what, people come to the Jersey Shore, this parade might be their first time at the shore. They come from Philadelphia, they come from Manhattan. You know, it'd be really nice if all those people came from all these, you know, surrounding areas to visit our DJs, Patty Max. Not just 2 bars, let them come to the town and see what it's all about, and then they'll come back. It's their first chance, and last year they don't want a fair shake when we have the 2 bars open. Thank you.
Frank Sametta.
Hello. My name is Frank Samantha. I'm one of the partners of DJs in Belmar. I first came to Belmar in 1970. I was playing in a rock and roll band. I grew up in Essex County in Orange. Played in a rock and roll band. My partner in the band knew from surfing at when he was in high school that there was a string of bars pretty unique to Jersey that stretched from Avalon into Spring Lake. I think there were about 14, probably even more, that I can recollect. This was 1970. So in that 2-mile or 2.5 mile stretch, there were bars, 14 bars, restaurants, hotels, After Prohibition, I don't know if you guys know how the seasonal licenses came to be. License creation was based on the town's population. The shore communities were in a conundrum because in the winter they shrink down to a couple thousand people. In the summer they ballooned to 20,000 people. And because New Jersey wanted tourism, they decided, okay, we'll come up with these seasonal liquor licenses. Now, as far as I know, most of the ones I know at the time were tied to big hotels, because there were big hotels along with bars and along with the restaurants and the hot dog stands. There were these big hotels also that stretched from Avon to Spring Lake. In 1970, I would estimate there were about 2,000 group rentals in the surrounding area. I know there were 1,400 legal ones in Belmar alone. And I know there were group rentals also in Bradley Beach, Spring Lake, South Belmar, which is now Lake Como, and Wall Township. So people would drive their cars from North Jersey, from Philadelphia, from New York, park them for the weekend up by the ocean, by their rental or their hotel, never get in their car again. They would just leave their car for the weekend because they could walk to one of 14 bars within a mile of where they were living. But the world has kind of changed since then. Oh, and by the way, I do believe that the seasonal liquor licenses started May 1st, they go to November 14th, to accommodate Monmouth County at one point was a big horse racing county, to accommodate the horse racing season. So the licenses were created to accommodate tourists and make the shore an attractive place to come. Well, the horse racing season is gone. We're still tied to the May 1st to November 14th. Now, in Belmar's case, other than a holiday weekend, 4th of July weekend, the busiest day of the year is our St. Patrick's Day parade. And for years, we've had the bar since 1979, and it always made us kind of sad in a way that we couldn't participate in that one great day of the year that we had in Belmar. And it's not just about money too, it's about setting the table for the summertime. And as Bond mentioned, you talk to people and they say, the first time I came to Belmar, I went to a college to grow in Philadelphia, and I came up, the first time I was in Belmar was parade day, and then I got hooked on Belmar, and I've been coming ever since. And it seems to me that we'd like to make Belmar the most attractive place to come when you're coming to the parade for the first time. Now, Belmar at one point was very unique with their parade. It was the biggest one, I think, in the whole state for the longest time. But since then, other parades have come to be. You have the parade in Hoboken, the parade in Seaside Heights, the parade in Morristown, the parade in Asbury Park. Now, what do all those places have in common? They've got a cluster of large number of bars. Asbury Park has, I think, 40 bars and counting right now. And their parade is getting bigger and bigger every year. Our parade is starting to shrink. And I think one of the reasons is that Asbury Park accommodates the people that are coming to the parade much more so than Belmar does. Last year in Belmar, there were 2 bars open in Belmar Pond. So, now as far as competing with the wintertime bars, the bars that have the year-round license are claiming that we're infringing on their business. Now, when I first came to Belmar, again, with 14 or 15 bars along the ocean, the bars in town on Main Street were small town bars. I can name them. There was Evelyn's, which was a seafood restaurant. There was the restaurant, I believe was called the Office in those days. Evelyn's had a bar, had maybe 15 stools at their bar. There was Pat's Tavern, which was a bar smaller than this originally, and it had a small dining room and a 10-stool bar. Captain Kern's, which was a storefront bar and had maybe 20 seats at the bar. The thing about those bars in those days, they were sort of towny bars. They didn't compete with the bars in the ocean for the summertime people. It was a badge of honor almost that they were local bars, towny bars. They didn't promote to the people that would come to the ocean. Now, over the course of time, what happened? The rentals disappeared, the hotels disappeared, bars along the ocean disappeared, and the bars in town were booked by younger guys who started to promote to the summertime people. So even though they're afraid that we'll compete with them on that one day, they have really, and I'm not going to say infringed because it's a free country, and I never, we never complained about it or felt we had the right to or wish them ill will. But bars that were never competition for us all of a sudden became competition. They were all of a sudden they were in play. They became competition. On top of that, Belmar 2 years ago created out of whole cloth 2 concessionaires licenses. One operating open air under tents on the pier. It's called Pier 9 Bar. Now, obviously, it's open air. That bar is not there to cater to the people there in the middle of winter. It's a summertime establishment that competes with us directly. Right now, the second concessionaire license, there's a building being built on the water again on the bay, which seems to me, if I've been estimated, somewhere between 12,000 and 15,000 square feet. I mean, it's a mega building. It's going to be a mega facility, open in the summer with a large deck, by the way, again, to cater to the summertime crowd, competing with us, not just that one day a year, but the whole 6 months we're open. So, we're not park backers. We've been down, we're not Johnny Come Latelys. We've been grown DJs since 1978. I first worked there in 1970 in my rock and roll band, and subsequently played most of the bars down the shore, including the bars of the men of here probably testify against us, but we've done our part over the years, including for the 30 years that we had DJs and weren't allowed to open on parade day. We still spent money and used our promotional machinery to promote the parade day because we thought it was good for Belmont. So we're not carpetbaggers. We've been there for a long time. We pitch in, we do the heavy lifting when we're asked to do it, and we're just asking for a chance to participate on one great day. Once we got a taste of it, it's just a great day. The spirit is great, and we're asking you to give us consideration.
Thank you, Frank. And any questions from the members? To the chair.
Just a couple of quick questions. Does DJ still hold a year-round license?
Technically, yes.
And it's my understanding that because it's zoning, you can't use it, correct? Zoning does not permit you to do it. If you were open on March 1st, well, I assume on May 1st, when you open 7 days a week on the full scale, weekends, next weekend. Assuming if this was done March 1st, you'd be open on weekends, or how would you do it?
Well, certainly on parade day. And then we would, our idea is to take that full set of time because we've never been open in the winter. So, for example, we're open now. Really our season runs from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So we're open, we're allowed to stay until November 14th. We open on Saturday and Sunday afternoons, and it's the same 50 people watching football every Saturday, including me. So if we had the ability to be open longer, maybe we could spend some dollars promoting that aspect of the business. Perhaps we would just open willing to cater. What about that? Ideally, it would be great to be open, but whether or not there's enough, like I say, now Saturday, Sunday, Saturday night we're closed by, Saturday we close usually by 9 o'clock at night. Sunday, on how good the late night football game is, we're there till sometimes we're done at 10, sometimes we're done at 11.
I think one of the comments you just made was actually very profound. You said once you got a taste, you want to try it. For 38 years, it didn't need to be, it wasn't an issue. Secondly, you're right, last year was an anomaly. There was severe weather issues. But since then, the Anchor is now open for your tour of Belmar. The Anchor is now open. I understand that Los Angeles is now a full-time license, year-round license. Los Angeles. And also there might be another year-round license that we have. So I think there's going to be some sufficient support there. I think what's got to be taken out for my purposes out of this conversation, I don't want to talk about parade or DJs anymore, because it's not about us, it's not about against DJs, it's not against about the parade. To me, it's about preserving an industry. And that's what my concerns have been. I've voiced this concern in the past, and I'll continue voicing the concern. Because it's almost potentially changing the law one place. That's really hard. Because most of the seasonal licensees that I have spoken to that are trying to do my due diligence on this have no desire to be open on March 1st. So that's my concern. We're talking about changing state law from one operation. And seasonal licensure, like you said, was corrected for a purpose. As it says seasonal is when the population comes up. The population of Belmar, I grew up, born and raised in Belmar, I'm a little more now. I don't think the population is rising on March 1st. And that's my concern. I was trying to protect the industry. I said this before. You know, when business owners are doing a business plan, they look at the competition, they look what's ahead. I think liquor licenses are very easy to do a business plan in a sense, because based on populations, how they're issued. So you know how you're coming, you know when and if you're going to get competition based on the population of the community. There's numerous communities who come to us, and sometimes we see special legislation, which I don't support, that, well, we need a special license for this town or that town. And I've said all along, if we're going to change the conversation, let's blow up the whole system and make the system make it right. But to continue to do special legislation along the ways where I find it a little concerning. But going back to folks who are going to be willing to put down $1.5 or $2 million in a restaurant. And in the competition, all of a sudden you tell them, now after they're up and running, now you're telling them March 1st, competition's coming in town, right? Because it's Belmar, Avalon, Cedar, whatever it is. You change the rules on it. I didn't know that. So I thought, that's my concern, and that's why I really feel like we have to take DJs and parade day out, because this is not against DJs, it's about protecting this industry that is a struggling industry. I'm sure the summertime is great for you guys, but this license, if this was approved today, if this was signed into law today, this seasonal license would be the most valuable license in the state of New Jersey. Because you tell me what restaurant wants to be open in Jersey Shore in November, December, January, February. The worst months to be open. You're employing people, you're trying to keep your lights on. Most people I know in the restaurant industry would love to shut it down in November, go on vacation, and come back and open it in March. So I think we're almost making it the most valuable license based on that.
Very smart.
That's good.
Number one, no one forces them to stay open on those deadlines. They can close. We're forced to close. They can stay open. I know, so we close, we still pay our mortgage, we still pay our insurances, we still pay our taxes. If they close, they would pay their mortgages if they have them, they would pay their taxes, so all their fixed costs would be there, just as ours are. The only thing that would be different is their variable cost. So variable costs, we're talking about electricity, gas, we're talking about employment costs and product costs. So it's true, if you want to sell a lot of beer, you got to buy a lot of beer first. But then you really should complain that you're sitting there when it's quiet and not selling a bottle of beer. I mean,
I agree with that.
And if it's only, if it is only about DJs, as you said, how can that change the industry? And I'm wondering, because you are from Delmar, did you look at that project that's going out on the water there? Talk about competition. Did you ever, I mean, like I say, there's a 12 to 15,000 square foot building going up, plus a huge outdoor area that's already in it. That was never there before. And I'm forced to compete with that. Bar A, when I first came to town, Bar Anticipation, was called Pine Grove. It was a small little building with some picnic tables in the back and I think some horseshoe pit. Evelyn's was a seafood restaurant, like I say, a 15-seat bar. Pat's Tavern was as big as this room. Now it's increased 4 or 5 times with the size that it was when I bought DJs. And they have an outdoor section now, again, to cater to winter people. I don't think so. They cater to the summertime crowd that's bigger than their original dining room. And I never heard anyone, and I never objected to that. Every place now in Belmar now has increased in size. The winter places that were all small little bars catering to the local crowd. Now, they were rewarded when they catered to the local crowd the way they did, and the locals only. But they had very even business. Because I used to play in a lot of these places, and we go down there in the middle of the winter, and the place would still be busy because they were chock full of locals. Now that they've increased in size, it's not the same business model. So when they're sitting there in what was that, January, February, and on a cold winter's night, believe me, they used to have business if you go back 20, 25 years. I also think, as a matter of fact, that even if you go back 10 years, 12 years, they had business. As Asbury Park has improved, they've become a huge draw. And there's 40 bars in Asbury. You come to Belmar on a cold winter's night, you'll drive to the parking lots, because I do, because number one, I play in a band and I still like to see the do business. And on top of which, if I drive from Bar A's parking lot, or the Headliner's parking lot, or any of the other bars in town, believe me, I want to see them busy. It bothers me when I see empty parking lots, because as the winter goes, so the summer goes. Because then I'll be disturbed and drive into Asbury Park and see all the bars are packed. See people walking everywhere. I think the best thing that can happen to all the bars in Belmar, if not only were we allowed to be open from March through November, we were allowed to open all year round. Because again, I say we're not carpetbaggers. We spend more money on promotion than any of the bars in our area, and everybody knows that. And if we were to be open all year round, we would spend money promoting that aspect of the business. I think it would be healthier for Belmar, other bars, if we were open.
One last comment, Mr. Mayor, let's not hold it. Question?
You wanted just to comment on the building?
Still comment on it? Or conversation?
Why don't we say it for the end, because I'm going to give a chance for the members to comment, just so we can move this along, we can all stack.
Thank you.
Complimentary.
And just so the record's clear, what was the name of your band?
Home, H-O-L-M.
Thank you very much.
I have one question.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, George.
When you were granted permission or stay with my governor, what were you, excuse me, were you open to every weekend? Up until your normal season?
Yeah, the first year following the hurricane, we were still, believe it or not, we were in the middle of the race back together. And so, 3 days before Ray Day was up, our construction, rehabilitation head this tracks, cleaned the place up, we made it look cosmetically as good as we could, and then opened up just for the parade. And closed the next day, and went right back to construction.
About the follow-through?
Just great. Can I say one thing about that? Part of that is that did it make sense for, in other words, the seasonal license was created for that, to cater to the large crowds that are in Belmont. Did it really make sense for us, knowing that this law was going to eventually go away, that there would be a time to invest in promoting to a local crowd? Because we would be the same way everybody else would be in the summer. The summertime crowds will not be there, except they are there on break. They wouldn't be there the following weekend and the following weekend and the following. They aren't there in September. We had a gorgeous day in September. After Labor Day is the biggest time. So did it make sense to us to invest the time and the energy and the money and try to stay open, to try to create a new aspect of our business, which we knew would probably disagree.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to call the next panel up. Jim Bean, opposed. Elizabeth McCann, opposed. And Thomas Weber from the headliner, opposed.
I'll go last.
Good afternoon. In answer to one of the gentleman's questions, there's A-1850 in Belmont, starting from 6th Avenue to 18th, including Lake Dover, but that's St. Patrick's Day Parade. I find it unfair to the other tavern owners with year-round licenses. It takes away from their revenue. He's only supposed to have a season license, and it should stay that way. A summer business interferes with your holiday life to begin with. And that's all I'm going to say. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
That's you guys hear me? Good. Jim Bean, 612 16th Avenue in Belmar. I live in the war zone of Belmar, which is what we call it during the summer because of the Mardi Gras crowds that are roaming the streets and fighting, which is fine. I voluntarily moved there. I knew what it was like during the summer, and I accept that. That's fine. I wish it better police enforcement, but that's a municipal issue, not a state issue. It's supposed to be one bar license for every 3,000 people. That's state law. The seasonal was because our town swells so big during the summer that one bar per every 3,000 can't handle it. So the seasonal licenses have come in, and Belmar owns 3, or Belmar has 3 within our borders. There are, I believe, 9 altogether, and they're all within Monmouth and Ocean County. I want to repeat that. They're all within Monmouth and Ocean County. So all the other counties of the people sponsoring this bill does not have a liquor license that's going to be affected. I'll get back to that in a minute. So DJs, who seems to be the main bar we're talking about, sits in a residential zone, okay? And a lot of these people here live within that residential zone. So what I did was, I pulled all the police reports for 2 years. So I had over 2 years of all the police reports in Belmar, just to give you an idea of what it's like out in that area. So, real quick, Anchor Tavern, year-round liquor license. I have 4 pages of police reports, year-round. Beach House Brewery, open year-round, 4 pages. The Boathouse, open year-round, 21 pages of police reports for 2 years. That's the second largest. Year-round. Jack's Tavern, 6 pages, open year-round. Klein's Fish Market, 8 pages, open year-round. 10th Avenue Burrito, seasonal just bought a year round, but they're seasonal, they got 5 pages of police reports, or police calls. 9th Avenue Pier, open seasonal, 4 pages. DJ's Bar and Grill, seasonal, 39 pages of police calls, the highest in Belmar. So more police are going to DJ's, which is a seasonal bar that now wants to open extra hours. Just saying, in a residential area, we don't want more. Belmar's oversaturated. Like Atlantic City, when they kept building more and more casinos, they figured out that, wow, more gamblers aren't coming down. And then they started building casinos in Pennsylvania, and New York, and all the gamblers went up there because it's saturated. There's already so many gamblers in this area, like drinkers in Belmar, or 1 mile by 1 mile. We're saturated with bars. In the last 5 years, we had 3 new liquor licenses brought into our town, on top of the ones we had. We had the Beach House Brewery, we had the 9th Avenue Pier municipal liquor license given by the town, by the way, and also they took a banquet-only liquor license year-round and sold it to DJs. That's a year-round. It was banquet-only, now they're allowed to, should be allowed to serve with it, but they're not. And that brings me to my last point of, if they want to employ all these people, if they have to recover because of Sandy, they have a year-round license. At least they did. But they had it for 4 years. Why don't they use it? They have a year-round, and yet they sit in front of you asking you to change the law, but they already have it. You know what? August 4th, 2016, DJ sold their year-round liquor license and traded it with a seasonal. You know why? Money right in the pocket. Because why should they keep it year-round? It's going to lose value. They'd rather sell it before the legislation gets passed, and you guys can then buy. It's thievery by legislation. You guys are decreasing the value of the year-round and increasing the value of the seasonal because, with legislation. They have a year-round. If they want to open up year-round, they can do it. If the municipality won't let them, that's the municipality problem. We shouldn't change state law to fix something that's already, that doesn't need to be fixed. And my last point is, when they opened up 9th Avenue Brewery, 9th Avenue Pier, Bar A, Headliner, a lot of bars lost customers during happy hours. So, which goes to prove that the more bars you open, this doesn't mean that more people come to drink. We have a stagnant amount of people, it doesn't really change. As more bars open, less people being there. So, if you guys vote this through, I believe it's thievery, because you're decreasing somebody's property value and increasing another's, all because, they just didn't want to use their seasonal. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? No?
Thank you very much. My name is Tom Street. I've been here before, but I'm the managing partner of the Headliner. We're located in Neptune. I'm born and raised in Martin County. The Headliner took a devastating hit in the state. Our damages were in excess of $1.5 million. We lost over 180 days of business. We were closed forcibly, trying to do remediation, and as you all heard before, we dealt with the same nightmares that all those other people dealt with. And also finding out no business interruption insurance for people with flood, which was a devastating hit. So we were closed for 180 days, and a little over that. And I've seen now seasonal liquor licenses that people purchased them, knowing they were seasonal liquor licenses. There was the opportunity to buy a year-round license, as I have myself. And they've been rewarded now 180 days by extending 3 times the license. So you've given them 180 days, plus I would hope, if they were that damaged, they got the $50,000 NJEA grant, which we were thankful to have gotten. So I ask you, when is enough enough? They've been given 180 plus days. And someone like me and other people, I'm competing, I'm still trying to recover from the city. You know, the amazing amount of debt we had to add on, because of course, like always, we weren't given the money that we lost in order to rebuild. So we've been given $50,000. We've also had 75 to 100 employees that we had to lay off for in excess of 6 months. And we're a year-round business employing now between 50 and 60 employees year-round. We've received $50,000, and that's really about it. So I don't also understand, I would assume that the seasonal licenses that are here did receive the money. I do notice only one is here being represented at all. I would think that if it was an important situation, I sure would believe the other licenses would be up here too, being concerned. And it doesn't seem like they are. I'm here because I'm concerned. Because my business, like I'm sure most people, we struggle during the winter. When you get to March, it's kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. You see, wow, you know, summer's coming, you know, things are starting to improve and things get better. You know, and no one's looking to extend their license November, December, and January. They're looking for the extension when March. Traditionally, weather's starting to warm up, people come down, they start looking for houses, they start, you know, people kind of hunker in during the winter. Now they're ready to kind of go out. And I just really am disappointed that a business that lost 17 days from the storm, that's if they were open all 17. They lost 17 days and already have been rewarded with 180. Why are we changing the law to help them? You know, I'm very involved in the community. I can sit here and tell you everything everyone else does. But I'm not. I just want to know about what is right. And the bottom line is I bought Neptune, believe in Neptune, and I paid for a year-round license in Neptune. And that's where I chose to do business. In deference to the people with seasonal licenses, I would like to believe they believed in that license that they purchased. And they bought it in that area because they had an opportunity to buy a lot of other places, and they did. They chose what they bought. And I would really urge you to not vote for this because you're changing. It's not only for my business, my employees, or anything. It's just that simple fact that people have been rewarded already substantially. You know, 180 days for 17. To me, anywhere you look, that is a massive rebate. And I don't, you've heard it from the guys from BJ's themselves, they want to open one. How is that, in fact, going to help the economy? How is it going to help putting people back to work? You know, to have people come in and work for one day, you know, I've heard that, oh, people are going to be back to work. Well, for one day, that's not giving someone a job. That's not helping them. And you're allowing them to take a day that possibly a lot of other businesses, even if you have people that have businesses on the street as far as clothing, other types of business, you're pulling people off up to the beach from those areas. And I just would really urge you to please consider not passing this, because I don't believe this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tom. Any questions? Ed Kelly from Kelly's Tavern, Tim Harmon from the Boathouse, and Patricia Kelly from Shamrock Pub. My colleague has a question
Just for the folks with DJs, June Dean just testified that you're gonna have 2 seasonal licenses. Is that true? I just heard that. Is that true? Someone from DJ's comment? Yeah. Thank you.
Timothy Harmon, Boathouse, Martinville, Belmar. I was here last year, I had the privilege of speaking before you. I'm here again, my position hasn't changed. Been in business 18 years on November 7th. Been working in the bar business since I'm 13 years old. I employ about 60 people year-round and 90 people in the summertime. I, too, am still recovering from Sandy. I was not on the ocean front, I was not along the water, as some of the other testimony you've heard, but you'll never get back the lost money that you could have made without the superstorm. No business interruption insurance, no FEMA, no SBA loans, none of that. We worked very hard to get back open for the community and moved forward at a time when the streets were blocked by barricades, National Guard stood at the entranceways of the town with machine guns, and we still tried to operate business when there was barely anyone around. So I too have been affected being on a Main Street business. I'm here today as one of 2 people in Belmar that own 2 liquor licenses. I have 2. One is operating the Boathouse. The other one is closed as we're in the middle of some litigation and trying to transfer the license, which has been delayed by Belmar. It's not really something that I care to go into. I have 2 year-round licenses. DJ's has 2 licenses, 1 year-round, which they are selling, and 1 seasonal, which they operate. So I'm here to protect my business, protect the assets that we bought into. I think it's a privilege to be able to sell alcohol, not only there, not only in general, but in the Jersey Shore community, to where we do swell in the summertime. We are all very busy, all of us sitting at this table, and those that are not here. Every business gets busier in the summertime, and we realistically pack our savings away like squirrels and acorns in the ground for the wintertime to make it through. So when I say that I'm here to protect my business, I truly mean that those winter months that we do struggle to pay our bills, keep the lights on, look for that light at the end of the tunnel, as Mr. Sway said in March, we do count on the St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'll take credit for the 53rd week of the year comment because I did make that last year, but I do disagree that it's a Belmar-only benefit. If I own a bar in Seaburg, Brielle, Manasquan, Avon, Neptune City, Bradley Beach, Asbury Park, on the day of the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade, everyone benefits. Everyone's wearing green. It's somewhat of a national holiday for that area. People come to the area. Last year we did have a phenomenal parade. It is unfortunate there were less liquor licenses open in the town, but one of that is due to the fact that a large bar that is just open was under construction and they did not feel the need to hurry that construction up. And the other one is me. I'm closed because I'm trying to move to a new location. So, not that you're concerned with the number of bars that are open on parade day and how many spots you have to drink, but to clarify the points that were made before. There are 8 or 9 seasonal licenses. 2 of them are in Avon, 1 in Spring Lake, 1 in Cedar, 1 in Manasquan, and 3 in Belmar. Extending this bill, this 2-month extension in the town that I have my businesses will affect us. There's no doubt about it. The 2 other bars have gone out and done what they think is the right thing to do and purchased year-round liquor licenses, one of which is from the previous testimony. Owners, they're selling their year-round license because they were not able to use it on the ocean front. The public comment and the public negativity that came out when they tried to change their business to year-round was so overwhelming that they dropped that fight. So they're selling their liquor license to one of the former seasonal establishments. I commend those guys. They feel that they're going to sell alcohol in December, January, and February when the streets are bare and it's pretty cold out. God bless them. They're doing the right thing, what they believe is right. They're trading their seasonal licenses for a year-round. I disagree with the mayor's comments last year. It was somewhat brought up in the previous testimony. It's not putting hundreds and hundreds of people back to work because there is no work in March and April on the Jersey Shore. It's a ghost town. People are coming down for the day to visit the shore, and I understand that. We all reap the benefit from that as year-round owners. We do look forward to that, but it's not Belmar specific. And again, I'm here to protect that. So I just don't think that this is right. And I guess my analogy would be that, you go out and buy a 4-cylinder car and you get a couple free tanks of gas, and all of a sudden, you want the dealership to take it back and give you an 8-cylinder truck for free. That just doesn't happen, nor should the law be changed for 1 or 2 establishments, because I can guarantee you that Avon, Spring Lake, Seagirt, Manasquan, residents in the areas of these seasonal licenses, as well as Belmar, are not going to be happy when they know that it could be potentially open for 2 more months. I urge you to vote no. As I heard it here before and listened to the, gut-wrenching, heartfelt stories of some of these people that have lost their houses, and we're sitting here protecting our businesses, certainly not on the same level, but you have the job to do something to protect the masses for that previous hearing. This is something that is really benefiting the minority, and I urge you to vote no. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Ed Kelly, Kelly's Tavern, in Tune City, New Jersey. We have 4 generations of our family that work there. And St. Patrick's Day is a big day for us. And I believe that you have a 6-month license. That's what you purchased. That's what you asked for. That's what you got. You own a year-round license. You decide not to use it, but you want to get the gravy. You want to come March 1st, open up, hit the parade, close up, and then come back Memorial Day weekend. I don't think that's fair, and I believe they just got a taste of it when they were able to open for the hurricane. Well, you open for the hurricane, you got your insurance money, you fixed yourself, you're all up and running again, but now you decide you still want that money. I'm 100% against it. And the winter months are very tough in the bar business, and like November, December, January, February, and then we come to March, St. Patty's Day, you get a couple of good weeks there, and then you open April, May, June, and you kick back in. But years ago, Jerry Lynch, still around, 92 years old, good friend of mine, he was in the bar business. The reason why he started the St. Patrick's Day parade was because he knew how hard it was to operate a business in the alcohol industry. He had 2 bars in Belmar, and he realized that we got to do something to help the economy down here, so that's what he did. He started the St. Patrick's Day parade for the year-round bars, and made it a big success. So it's been probably 40-something years now, 45. But he did it for the 12-year license people. And as of last year, they said there was only 2 bars open in Belmar. Well, I got a count of 11, and we have BK Shamrock's, Boathouse, RA, Paul's Tavern, Johnny Mac's, Jack's, Klein's, Shillelagh's, and then we have the Firehouse, then you have all the private parties, McCann's. So there was plenty of bars open in Belmar. And I'll just keep it short, but I am totally against this. You have a 6-month license. You have a year-round license. If you decide you want to use the year-round, keep it. Don't try and make a 6-month license an 8-month license. Thank you.
Patty Kelly, PK Shamrock Pub. DJ's is right down this street from my establishment. I just don't think it's fair that they open up and take revenue from the season license holders when they have the other license, and why do they think they are so special that they don't have to follow the rules like everybody else?
Thank you very much. Any questions for the panel? Or was there an increase in your business this year because DJs wasn't open?
No. I'd say no. Depending on the weather, is one thing.
Thank you very much. Any comments from the panel? Members? All right, with that, entertain a motion. Please, Patrick. Second? Second. Roll call.
On the motion to release A-1850, Councilman Martin, Councilman Martin.
Chair, before I vote, I just wanted to stress, as I said in my earlier testimony, that I didn't want to make this about the parade or DJ, more about the industry itself. Truth of the matter is, DJs is a great business in Belmar, they are, and they're very well with their employees. and the customers. But again, it's not about them. What concerns me is the optics here, which one I learned today that we have, they will potentially possessing 2 seasonal licenses. And I guess what I struggle with is, it's my district. And when you see Essex and Hudson County legislators doing a bill in my district, I find that a little offensive, because I'm not putting a bill into all Hoboken bars when they're open when they're closed. I really think we should be district specific. So that's my concerns, many other concerns. Again, it's about protecting this industry, and I vote no.
Councilwoman Hubbard.
Yes.
Councilwoman Martell.
Since this is a somewhat a difficult situation for me, I'm from Neptune, and I know a lot of these establishments, and don't participate in the parade every year. I know that it's crowded, and typically I don't go to any of the first I go to someplace else, it's kind of quiet. So I know there's a lot of people that are in town, and I know that DJs draws a lot of people to that establishment, or to Belmar, has a reputation of being, a lot of people like to come to Belmar just for DJs, just maybe to participate in the parade just because of DJs. I don't know, but I think that I could support this and out of our meeting right here, proceed for ourselves. Yes.
Chairman Wismer.
Thank you. I appreciate everyone for coming and testifying in both parts of this hearing. I'm going to vote to release, but I think that the discussion should continue, particularly with people who are members who are affected by the district. But I'd like to see this move ahead. I understand that the arguments on both sides, but I'm sensitive to recovering, everyone recovering from the Sandy disaster that we had. I hope that all these bars can work together and bring back our tourism position. That I vote yes.